Alrighty, so we have Pick versus Trex here for the last matches of Eurasia before we head on over to the Rollover Americas matches for Jimbo. And Trex had a really solid run against Ricky, starting off the stream here with really high accuracy FCs, only like -1, -2, especially on a couple of those sight reads. So Trex is really doing good. Pick, they literally said in the interview before this match that they would be, the strat is to spin and pray. So I guess we'll just have to see how this one turns out, and hopefully the match pool is more favorable for Pick, especially since their map pool against Ricky just was awful for Pick.
True.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how Pick approaches this match, because with Mappy's forfeit from the league, and Swagdude picking up the match win against Mappy as a consequence of that, Pick officially cannot catch anyone else in the league. Pick is in relegations. So this match and all matches going forward have no standings implications for PickPig. However, the rest of the field, all of the top four are super tight, with Ricky technically in first place with a 5-3 record, and Swagdude in fourth place with a 4-3 record. One match essentially separates first and fourth, so everyone needs to still beat PickPig in order to keep their pace in the league. So the pressure's on TreXDer really to perform here.
Yep, very true. That's actually what I mentioned in my interview recently, that if I were to like drop into relegation, there's still like the aspect of like ruining other people's standings.
Yep. And speaking of Swagdude, this is probably not the way you wanted it to happen, but congratulations, you're officially in playoffs now.
Thanks. Yeah, it's not great right now, but yeah, it is how it is.
Alrighty, so both players seem to have selected Cybernecia Catharsis here for the match. And oh man, this one's a really good starter, honestly.
Such a good song.
So it'll honestly be an accuracy battle for these two. And starting off, Pick will be getting a late, so currently losing pace. The miss. Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Spun a bit early there. Yeah. But Trex has voiced his opinion on this cloud, and he has trouble hitting the beat tap beat and tappy tap pattern that repeats twice, or 4 times I guess.
Interesting.
I mean, that's like you already hit 2 of the 4.
And one thing to consider is that this chart is really short, so another miss from Pick. That's really unfortunate.
This is a really fun song though.
Oh,
yeah.
For sure.
It's a great shot.
Got the frustration wiggle out of Pick.
Aww.
Yeah,
it's
you really do
unfortunate,
hate to see it.
You do hate to see it, but in Pick's position, you probably just already, like, you're probably ready to move on at this point. It's like very unlikely Trex is gonna miss twice.
Yeah, I think from Pick's perspective, probably the important thing is, if Pick wants to stay in the league, it isn't really winning any of these matches. It's just, not getting tilted off these matches and thinking about what needs to happen to survive relegations at this point.
Indeed. And it really, kind of comes down to, like, how many candidates are there for Eurasia?
Also, I'm actually curious, what exactly, like, goes for relegations again? Like, what exactly do we have an actual process for that when we get to
yes.
that yet?
So the first place player that's not in SpeenLeague in a given region has 2 matches that they can play. The second place player in the region has 1 match that they can play. And so they get to challenge the players at their choosing. the 5th place in the league can be challenged once, and the 6th place player can be challenged twice. So let's say like the first place person in circuit points challenges the 6th place player and loses, then that player can still be challenged by the 2nd place player, and then that person wins. The 1st place player can now only challenge the 5th place player.
Okay.
Right. And Expedition is gonna be played for the second shot.
Indeed.
However, we kind of have an unusual circumstance in both leagues. G4 has relegation protection, so if he does not make the playoffs, we will not have a normal relegation in the Americas. And G4 right now is currently on the bubble. He's in 4th place. And with Mappy quitting, Mappy will obviously be automatically forfeiting his relegation match. However, we don't know who's going to take that spot yet. Probably what we're going to do is we're going to have the top 2 players in circuit points match up against each other, and the winner will take that spot, and the loser will have the opportunity to play pick.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, I can see it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess with the unfortunate dropout of Mappy. Wasn't really a lot of time to prepare here.
Yeah, I didn't get the message in general, and I also wasn't notified, so...
I missed a note.
Oh, yeah.
This is a really
that's
bad place to
unfortunate.
have that miss, too.
Yeah, it's along with a lot of holes and spins there.
So,
Oh,
I guess on a side note, this is one of the things I'm actually really excited about, because I mean, I think everyone knows about what's coming out with the patch in terms of scoring, and like knowing how the scoring is gonna be like changed and affected. Like, I think that's gonna really make tournament play a lot more interesting.
It's gonna be different for sure. Well, I have to see how it pans out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting because, like, if you look at Pick and TreXDer scores right now, I think it's going to actually widen the disparity between players like Pick and Trex. Pick right now only has 2 earlies, which amounts to between 32 and 64 points worth of missed value, depending on what notes were missed.
Ooh, compound miss.
Compound miss. Okay, is he gonna survive?
Yeah, lab score still going.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, what I was gonna say is as far as the missed perfects go, Pick has like maybe 48 points worth of missed value, but they may overall have much worse accuracy on the notes that are being hit perfectly, because the hit window is actually pretty large. So the difference between this score and the new scoring system is proximity to 0 milliseconds. It now factors in. So even Pick's perfects in aggregate could count against Pick's score if their accuracy, their proximity to 0 milliseconds is too far apart.
Yeah.
Right. I'm still not 100% certain how I feel about that, because the feeling that the perfects are like not perfect anymore just doesn't sit quite right with me. Would have maybe liked to see like an extra like group between perfect and good being added to like make accuracy a bit more important. But it is how it is.
Yeah, right now it's either you get a PSC or you don't.
Right.
But the thing is, what I think is interesting is that even if both players get a PSD, I think at that point, it's going to be pretty much impossible for a tie because of the way the bonuses work.
Yeah,
And,
there's
like,
no
the
longer
scoring
going to be any
bonus.
ties.
Very unlikely, yeah. Very unlikely.
So I guess that also means if there does become a tie at some point, that would actually be probably infinitely more impressive because of just all this, just all of the things that would have to go into that happening.
Yeah, it would be really a lot more impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I always like PFC ties or ties in general, so getting less of those is sad, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Also, what concerns me, I mean, the new system obviously just favors the better players even more. And if I was playing against Trex now with PFC, and just knowing that I would lose with a PFC, just feels weird.
Yeah, that's very true. I think it's going to be kind of a struggle. Like the players that are managing to take maps off of these top players are going to have an additional barrier to entry, just because of the new accuracy standard.
Yep. Upsets are going to be a lot less frequent. Right, and Trex is going to take the set.
Indeed.
2-0.
2-0. And that'll be the end of the Eurasia matches for this week.